going to discuss the topic teaching of structure and vocabulary. As we know the importance of English language, so this language is taken a crucial role in our day-to-day life. So you want to speak in English, first of all we have to focus more on the vocabulary part as well as the structures. So before going to speak with anyone, or if you are interested to learn English language, definitely we have to focus more on structure and vocabulary. So the structure is very important part which gives complete meaning to the sentence or a word or paragraph or to the whole textbook. So the structures are very important one. To make the structures as very effective with the students or with the learners, we have to concentrate more on giving practice for more structures as well as we have to use in our day-to-day life. So before that we have to look into the definition structure. So here we have to talk about the objectives before entering into that. The objective is talking about to identify structure in the English reader. So whatever the structures were formed in the textbook, either it may be the 8th class or 9th class or whatever the textbook, the content book, that we have to identify exactly what type of structures were there in the textbook, and the lesson is consisted with the different types of structure. So the student must be in a position to differentiate one lesson to other lesson, what type of structures were available in that particular text or the lesson, whether it may be prose or poetry or which is talking about the supplementary reader. That was the first objective we have to concentrate on them. And the next one is talking about to identify different types of words. So then only we can improve our vocabulary. So these words, we are looking into different types of words from one class to other class. And the same time the standard of the words will be increased from lower class to higher class. So this is going to increase the student confidence while speaking or while writing the English terminology. And the next objective is talking about to teach the usage of the different techniques. So to teach the language, whether coming to prose or poetry or non-detail or the supplementary reader, we have to follow certain different types of techniques. So these techniques based on poetry is different, prose is different, as well as supplementary reader is different. So as we have different methods and approaches in methods of teaching English, so based on the topic we have to focus on different types of methods or structures or techniques and as well as to the approaches. So based on the topic we have to look into and make the student understand the topic. So the language teacher ultimate goal or the aim is to make the learner to understand the concept in a proper way. That was a major objective. To fulfill that objective we have to concentrate more on the different types of techniques. So based on these techniques, the learners which they are learning the foreign language or the English language, they may not feel any difficult to learn the language. So based on that, the subject teacher has to focus more on easy and simple techniques to make them as active participants in English language learning. So here we look into the definition of structure. So the structure is the arrangement and the relation between the parts of element of something complex. So the structure is nothing but it is an arrangement of and relation between the parts of elements of something complex. So here the structure is giving complete meaning. If the structure is, or if the paragraph is very difficult, or if it is very consisted with the different tough words, or the terminology is entirely different to the student or the learner, by looking into that we have to make more avail of the meaning of different words. So automatically the words of the meaning is making the student or the learner to make the structure as more comfortable. So here the structure is giving an arrangement and of relation between the parts or elements of something complex. So this structure is making the learner not to feel any structure is difficult for them while learning English language. So the arrangement of some words in a sentence called as sentence structure. The arrangement of some words in a sentence called as sentence structure. By combining all these words we can frame a meaningful sentence, so which is consisted with the sentence structure. The language structure make up the skeleton of a language. So here the definition had given, or like structure and vocabulary had defined that. So like the structure is like the skeleton of a language. So without skeleton or without structure, there is no proper language. So if language structure make up the skeleton of a language, then it is vocabulary that provides the vital organs and flesh. So not only having the skeleton of a language or structure, and vocabulary is also that much important for to give a meaningful for the language. So here the structure and vocabulary are very, very important part for the teaching English language. According to words of Menon and Patil, mastery of structure is more important than acquisition of vocabulary. So according to, as per Menon and Patil, the mastery of structure is more important than acquisition of vocabulary. So these were focused more on the structure. Once the learner is mastery over the subject, then automatically the vocabulary is going to be increased. So here, as per their opinion, the vocabulary and as well as the structures both were important, but getting mastery of the structure is more important than the acquisition of vocabulary. So here they mentioned on the importance of structure, which is compared to vocabulary. So here there is an example which is there will be a conversation between A and B, the conversation between A and B. So the first example is talking about the A is continuously studying for hours together. In this example, A is continuously studying hours together. So the conversation with A and B, the B is asking A, so by having this continuous study for hours together, that A is not feeling any bored of having continuous study or whatever the work we are doing, continuous work. So obviously if we go for a continuous work, definitely we need some break. So based on this the example were framed. So here it's isn't it boring to do this work for hours together? There is a conversation between A and B. So immediately the B was saying and suggesting to A, yes, let's play football for some time. Let's play football for some time. So this is one example conversation between A and B. So here instead of just focus more on the example, in this example B is giving a suggestion to A by using the word let's play, by using the word let's play. So this is making the sentence as meaningful one. Let's play is making the sentence as meaningful. So here the structure we followed is let's plus verb. The structure we followed is let's plus verb. And here we can go for one more example. I'm feeling hungry. I'm hungry. That was one more example. So the other person is going to say that this is also a conversation between two individuals. So immediately, so am I, let's eat something. So here in this same case like the first example, B is suggesting to A, just have something so that we can have conversation as a meaningful conversation. So this is an example which is having a simple structure like let's plus verb form. In these two examples, verb form is play and let's is as it is word we are using. So this structure is a meaningful one, having conversation among two individuals. So to make the structures as more effective or comfortable to the student or the learner, especially learning English language, the teacher has to make the student to participate with more number of examples, giving responses for more number of examples, so that the teaching of structures are going to become as more useful to the learners, especially talking about the English language part. So to make the classroom as very effective teaching of structures, so we can prepare like substitution tables. So these substitution tables are very useful to the learners, especially the English language. This is making more satisfaction to the learners by preparing more number of examples, taking help of the structures. So the substitution table. Learner frames sentences by taking words from different columns of the table. So here the teacher is going to give different columns on the blackboard or on the chart, whatever the TLM is available within the classroom or with the teacher. So the teacher can use this teaching aid like chart or blackboard. So the teacher can write structures on the blackboard by giving 3-4 columns. So the student has to give response to by clubbing all those words to frame as a meaningful sentence. So this is advantage with the substitution table. So here the learner or themselves are framing their own sentences by taking help of the clues whatever the teacher had written on the blackboard. So by taking help of those different columns, they are going to get the meaningful sentence or meaningful structure. So by doing this continuous practice in the classroom with the students, so they feel that they are going to learn more and they are very happy we learned something. So the language acquisition is more possible, or it is going to be more practical when it is giving more chances to participate the student as active participant. So here the teacher has to expect more number of examples within the students, then it will be the effective classroom. So it can understood that every student is learning the structures. So here by this practice level, the learners are going to get the satisfaction. So here the learners, they know that they are learning English language or the foreign language as a second language. So here by coming to know the importance of English language, instead of third language it was modified as the second language, because majority of the books were available and every information is available only in the English language. So based on that importance, the English language was considered as the second language. So here to make the English language was very effective, they have to prepare more number of examples to get perfection with the language while speaking with others. So as we know, the language is a combination of 4 basic skills to fulfill these L, S or W: listening, speaking, reading and writing. So the language teacher has to focus more on these 4 basic skills. To get or to satisfy those 4 basic skills, they need more practice. So the practice is possible within the classroom and within the peer group. For sake of that, the teacher has to give more number of examples, which is making the learners as very comfortable with the language. So this is a substitution table importance while framing the structures. So here while preparing more number of examples, obviously the student feel that very happy, I prepared my own sentence. If the time permits us, definitely we can make the learner to write it on the blackboard, so that we can make the student habitual in the classroom while writing. The writing skill also going to be developed. So this was the importance of substitution table. The next structural development part is classroom situations. So the teacher can create a situation with the things available in the classroom and make meaningful sentences. So within the classroom, the language teacher can create a situation within this 45 minutes class. The teacher can create a simple situations within the things available. So within the class we have different types of things were available, like the school bags will be available, books will be available, the geometry boxes, pen, pencil, these all will be available, and chalk, duster and other some bookshelves, these all will be available within the classroom. So these are available materials or the available things in the classroom. Based on that, the teacher has to create a situation which is very comfortable, so that the class will be more effective. So here we can give an example for the classroom situation, like so the teacher in general they'll write on the blackboard. So they can ask the question, what am I doing? The teacher is asking the student, what am I doing? So immediately the student response was writing on the board. So whatever the teacher is writing on the board, all the student will give a response like, you are writing on the blackboard or on the board. So immediately the teacher can ask the question like, where I am writing? Okay, I am writing fine. Where I am writing, on the book or on the blackboard? The student will give on the blackboard. That was a response, chorus response given by the learners. So then if the teacher had written the words, those are visible to students, definitely they can read the words. If the font size will be high, so that everybody will give response whatever the text had written on the blackboard. So the teacher can ask, can you read these words? If the words are visible to the student, the teacher can ask, is it visible to you? Yes. And can you read? Yes, I can read. By pointing out one student, I can read, teacher. Okay. And next, if the font size is very less, if the font size is not visible to not even to the first row in the classroom, the teacher can ask, can you read these words? So the student will say, no, I can't read. No, I can't read. Why you are not in a position to give response for these words? Because those words are not visible to the student. So here the structure is based on subject plus can plus base form of verb. So here the sentence is framed by taking help of the can, subject plus can. The base is reading is the base part, focus is on reading or writing part. So this is the one more structure. These are very simple structures which we can create in the classroom. So by creating more number of situations in the classroom, the things available in the classroom, that is more effective, and every student is going to become as an active participant, and they come out with their own ideas. What are the things are available with them? They are ready to participate and they will focus more on the speaking part. So in the next situation we can create like a picture and diagrams. So these are very effective to the classroom of teaching for the language teachers. So the teacher can teach structures through pictures by showing so many pictures with the help of chart or with the help of photographs or with the help of PowerPoint presentations or whatever it may be. The teacher can show the pictures in the classroom. So for example, here there was one picture was shown to the student. So immediately the response was, the child is sleeping. So here the pictorial is giving more importance or more active participation of the learner. So here the classroom can provide such type of pictures and diagrams. Sometimes we can show the diagrams. Based on the diagram also, they can expect what exactly the diagram is showing us or talking about. So here the teacher can teach structures through pictures as well as the diagrams, which is making classroom as very effective. So in general, the activities can be conducted in among the 45 minutes. Around 20 minutes we can talk to the student by participating into by providing more number of examples or by giving activities. First of all, we have to make them into groups, 5 students or 10 students as a group, and the activity should be assigned to them, so that every child is going to take their own responsibility in completing their activity. And the next structure we can create through various activities like role plays and games. So this is also one of the important activity which we can make all the student as an active participant in the classroom. So by creating some simple activities like role plays and games. So the teacher can ask learner to perform some actions, to respond, to guess something, to take role of someone, and so on. So these are different type of simple situations which we can create in the classroom. So if any student is showing interest to play like a role play, if he is acting like he is interested to show or perform in the form of role play, then whatever the theme or the concept is delivered by that particular individual or the learner, immediately the other individual must be in a position to share with them and respond for that action, how he is representing the role. At the same time, we can guess something. For example, if any student is playing like Mahatma Gandhi, how is speaking, and Vivekananda and all those. So automatically by looking into those get up only, the student will guess what exactly he want to perform and all those. So these taking responsibility as a role, that is more important, so that every individual will come to know, having some awareness of that particular role or the part or individual, and next they are going to develop their speaking skills. So this is also one of the technique which we can follow within the classroom to make the class as effective and efficient classroom for the language learning. So and here we can go for more number of games. So like making them student to participate in the games. For example, if the teacher is writing some jumbled words on the blackboard, definitely the student has to grasp what exactly the missing letter in that particular word. That way we can concentrate and improve the vocabulary or the words, the spellings of the different words. At the same time, we can give like the games like we have to write some words on the blackboard, around 10 or 15 words based on the student standard. Just we have to make the student not to look into that immediately. Just give 30 seconds or 1 minute time, and we have to rub the words on the whatever we have written on the blackboard and let them write by giving 30 seconds or 1 minute time. So that this activity is going to make the learner to concentrate on what exactly the teacher had written on the blackboard. In the same time, it is giving one more advantage with the memory game. How many words they are focused on the means, which is nothing but memory, whether they had written 12 words or 13 words. Based on that we can assess the memory level of the student. So like this we can play the student with the n number of games. So this is also one of the aspect we can develop the structure as well as teaching English language. And coming to make this all the classrooms as very effective classrooms, we have to focus more on the activities. So coming to the activity, like a simple activity. So whatever the tasks or whatever the activities we are discussing right now, these all in a simple activities which we can perform within the classroom with more effective way, and the same time there is no doubt that the learners are going to learn definitely. It is going to be useful a lot for the learners with the active participation. So coming to a simple activity like touch and say. So here the simple activity is like touch and say. So here it is like blindfold a child by tying a handkerchief over his or her eyes. Usually these all the games will be very interested to the students. A chance to the student come out if any student is interested. Just we have to give a blindfold a child by tying a handkerchief over his or eyes. So next activity for the continuation for that is once we have the handkerchief, once it is like blind, immediately we can give one object to the child, whatever the object are available in the classroom. So that is just textbook or pen or pencil or geometry box or water bottle you can give to the student. So that student will give the response. If the teacher asks what is this, if the teacher asks what is this, immediately the student will give the response. Like if it is bottle, it is water bottle. Otherwise if it is textbook, the student will say it is textbook. And to get confident that exactly it is the textbook or any other box the teacher had given. So based on this, to get the confirmation with this, the teacher is going to ask the same question those who are in the classroom, by asking other member in the classroom. So whatever the child A is talking about, this is a book or this is a box. So to get the confirmation further, the teacher is going to ask what it is it is correct answer, whatever the answer given by the child A or the learner A. So immediately they will give response, yes, it is the textbook or it is a water bottle. So here the structure is it plus B. The structure indicated is it plus B. So here this is also one of the introducing structure with the like touch and say. So every student will know touch and say. This activity is usually they will play with among the group as well as within the same group or at home also we usually will play these type of games. So based on that it is taking help of structure it plus B. This is one activity. And next activity we can look into that, just we have to assign them and get the chart papers and cut it into some pieces so that they can serve as a face mask. Face mask. So every child is very interested to prepare all these face masks. So here by wearing that face mask, immediately the other person or the other learner can ask, who are you? It is like a probing question, who are you? So whatever the face mask they are having, based on that they will give the reply, I am a tiger, I am a lion, and immediately the response will be, then what can you do? If it is a D or whatever it may be, based on that what can you do? For example, they said that it is a lion or tiger or cheetah, then what can you do? So means here it is asking about what is the speciality of that feature or that animal or that flower. For example, it is sunflower. We can create within the classroom the mask like sunflower, or any fruit also we can prepare. So based on that the structure, whatever the face mask they had, they will give the reply answer. So here if it is cheetah, I can run very fast. So that was the reply given. If it is like a mask like a mango, so definitely I am a fruit. So this is a structure we can get it. So here the structure is subject plus can and plus base form. So this is one of the activity. In the first activity we had taken like touch and say. There we focused more on it can, and the next in the structure subject plus can plus base form. So this is also one type of activity. Coming to the practical work. So here to make this learner as very effective of English language learning, the more and more practice is required. By giving more number of exercises, by giving more number of situations, or creating more number of activities, or by making them into different groups, so that the practice is going to become as more useful to the teacher instead of continuously talking about the topic or the exercise. So coming to one more practical work which can make as more effective for the students, activity. So here the teacher can in this activity they'll write some they'll draw some squiggles on the blackboard. They'll draw some squiggles on the blackboard. So based on these squiggles, what is this? Immediately the teacher can ask the student like what is this? So their perception may be different by looking into the curved lines. The squiggles nothing but the curved lines with different shapes and all those. So by looking into these squiggles, what is this? So one student felt that it is a cloud, means these are like clouds, and some student will say that it is a snake. Some student will say it is a snake. So that was a perception which is based on the squiggles looking into the blackboard. And one more activity we can make, is it in your pocket? So here something you have to keep in your pocket, whether it may be pen or pencil or pouch or whatever it may be, just we have to keep it in the pocket. Is it in your pocket? This is a question form. Okay. So here outside, in this activity what you have to do is we have to make one student to out of the class, and the remaining student as usual they are going to sit in the classroom. So here you have to ask, is it is on the table? So the outsider don't know where exactly the article is, where exactly the pouch or pocket is. So you ask the student, outside student, those who are standing, is it is on the table? The question is it is on the table? So that outside student will say that yes, it is on the table, because he don't know. The student may say that it is on the table. Okay. Actually where exactly the pocket is, where exactly the pouch is, it is in the pocket of one learner or the one student. So the teacher or the class can give the answer with a chorus answer with an active participation of all the student. No, it is not on the table. It is not on the table. That was the answer given by, chorus answer given by the peer group. Okay. So if the outside student had given answer that it is in the pocket, it is in the pocket. So immediately the class student will say that yes, it is in the pocket. So whatever the outside student said that it is in the pocket. This is also one of the activity which we can make as the practical work. And next we can look into that activity like conducting like simple interviews in the classroom. So the interview means we will feel that it is a tough task, but we have to create in the classroom as the interview situation, and one has to act as an interviewer, the other one has to act as an interviewee. So based on that there will be a conversation between two individuals, interviewer and interviewee. So that situation easily we can create in the classroom. So we have to select two students to conduct this interview, and the teacher can guide them what type of questions they can frame and what type of answers they are going to expect it. So in this interview we have two types, structured interview and unstructured interview. So the structured interview based on the prepared questions, the structured interview will be there. Means already the panel will be decided to ask what type of questions to the person. So that is structured, already well planned, that is structured. Coming to the unstructured interview, here based on the answers received by the panel or the board members, based on the answers received by the other person, the panel is going to give the question. So here based on the situation or depending on the answer by the other person, these people are framing on the spot, they are going to probe the question. So here there is no structure. That is, these are the two types of interview. So here this we are talking about the interview part as a school level. We have to look into that, focus more on the structural interview. So in this structural interview, the interviewer can ask the student what type of questions, they can write it on one paper, and based on that they can ask the question. So here we can create such type of environment in the classroom so that every student will try to participate in that interview, how to face and how I can give the answers, and these all will be very comfortable to the these two, A and B, like interviewer and interviewee. So here this is also one type of activity which we can create. So here for example, pupil 1 is talking to pupil 2. This is a conversation or the interview with two persons. So the first person, pupil 1, is talking about by saying good morning or good afternoon, and asking this is so and so, introducing themselves, and immediately the other person is also saying, pupil 2 is also saying good morning. So here what is your favorite dish, or what is your favorite movie, or what is who is your favorite actor, and who is your famous whom do you like very much. So can you give the explanation for that, or can you give few points what you know about that educationalist or whatever the person they selected. So here the pupil will, the second person will say that what are the qualities they are exactly. Because if the pupil 1 is talking about my favorite is Abdul Kalam, I like Abdul Kalam. So immediately the pupil asks, what are the qualities made you to love or like such type of great personality. So they have some views. So that views will be come out. So here the interview is a part or a situation created to come out with their own ideas, exactly what they know about that particular person or situation or game or concept. So this is nothing but the making activity more effective in the classroom. So this is an opportunity given by the teacher to all the students, so by creating more number of interviews. And the next activity we can go for at home. So here the learning language is not restricted only for the classroom, or 45 minutes. So the learning can be taken place in all the areas. So like here we can take home. So at home also we can have discussion with the parents as well as younger sisters or brothers. So here there was a conversation between mother and father or the daughter. So here also we can create like such type of activity. Usually the discussion will be, have you gone to school? Yes. What are the subject taught by the teacher? So mathematics, the teacher taught circles, and English, the teacher taught the grammar part or the poetry or prose, and the social studies, the teacher had given an explanation about the history. So these are the normal conversation among the parents and the learner or the child. So these type of environment or these type of activities making more comfortable to learn the, especially learning language, so that they are coming with their new structures is more helpful for the learner. So here not only the school or not only the classroom, the home environment is also more comfortable to learn the language. So all the places are very comfortable to learn the language. So here we can't find any gap to learn the language. Home is also considered as a good environment learning the language. So especially we will take example of mother tongue. So the mother tongue is developed from the home environment only. Here the no student or no teacher had not given proper training towards the learning language, especially the mother tongue. Comfortably they learn the mother tongue. So here like English also we can make the learner to learn language as comfortable like mother tongue, so that they feel more convenient to learn language and try to speak out whenever they have an opportunity to speak with others. So this environment should be created at home. And the next one we can have, usually we will go to supermarket to buy some provisions or something. So here there also we can have some discussion with our elders or with the shopkeeper. So here for example here we can go for, if I want to collect an article, notebooks from the shop or the supermarket, or provision for the home requirement. So based on this we can ask the questions like, I need especially the classmate notebook. So definitely how many pages it is, as your choice you are selecting 200 or 300 pages. So immediately you can ask how much cost it is. So here there will be a conversation like coming to know the value or the cost of that particular book. So how many you required? I need 2. And what is the cost? This is around 30 rupees or 40 rupees. So here this is also a place to have conversation between the two individuals. So these type of conversation should be in English, so that the language is going to be learned by the students. And coming to the looking into the structural part, the student should be known, or they must be have good command over the all the words. So looking into this we have different types of words. The first type of words are structural word and content words. So coming to first one, structural words. First one is structural words. So here without structure we are not going to get the meaningful sentence or meaningful passage. So here we are looking into a simple example of structural words. An old man was telling his doctor, an old man was telling his doctor about his illness, and doctor was listening to him keenly and patiently. So the structural word example, an old man was telling his doctor about his illness, and doctor was listening to him keenly and patiently. So here this is this structure or the example is talking about the problem faced by an old man, and is having discussion with the doctor that what problem exactly is having, and the doctor is listening patiently and keenly with the patient or with the old man. So this is the structure. So to get this meaningful structure we have to focus more on the structures like an. So as we must be aware of these articles, an and the, these three are the articles. So based on the vowel sound we have to use the articles. So here the old man, before old man we have to use an, old man. So already it was done. It is showing that the verse was showing that it was past incident, which was past. Telling his doctor about his illness, he is not feeling well. That was the discussion between old man and the doctor. and the doctor was listening to him keenly and patiently. So this is the structure. In this, whatever the underlined words, and, was, his, about his, and, was, to, him. These are the words acted as the structures. Means without this, for example, I can read the sentence without these underlined words. Old man telling doctor about illness, doctor listening keenly and patiently. This was the paragraph or example or the sentence without having structure. So exactly it is going to understood by the others if we didn't follow any structures? No, definitely it is not going to give the complete sentence or meaning for that. So here, and, was, his, and, him, too. These all these structures are making the sentence as very clear to the doctor and the others, so that it is going to be understood in the easy manner. So the structures are very important one while framing the as a part of this meaningful passage. So coming to next one, content words. So in the first we discussed the structural words, and the second we discussed about the content words. In this content, whatever the underlined words, old man, telling, doctor, illness, doctor listening keenly and patiently. In the first example, we had gone with the only with and, was, his words were underlined. In this content words, we have to look into the old man was telling to his doctor about his illness, and at the time the doctor was listening to him keenly and patiently. So that these complete sentence is possible only through the proper structures as well as the proper content. For example, based on this example, without these underlined words, and, was, his, about, his, and, was, to him, and. So does it is giving complete meaning to this? Definitely it is not the meaningful one. So in the first example we had underlined the structures. So without structure we are not going to get the proper meaning, and the same time without content words also we can't get the proper sentences. So this is the importance of structure and the content words, so that it is having meaningful words or the passages. And the next type of structure words formation is synonyms. So as we know, the synonym is the word has the same meaning. The synonym, similar meaning. The synonym means similar meaning. If the word has the same meaning or nearly same meaning as another word in the same language is called synonyms. So here in this synonymous words, the meaning is different as well, almost all having same related meaning for the particular word. Those are called as the synonyms. Synonyms means the words having the same meaning or nearly, which is giving almost all the same meaning. Those are called as the synonymous words in the same language. Now we are talking about the language, English language. So whatever the word, for example, construct. So as we know, construction is building something, or if the student is constructing the blocks, definitely construction. The same meaning in English we can take it as like building. What we are building? One building is constructed. Almost all these two are having same meaning. And the next one is trust. And the other word for this synonymous word is believe. Just trust me. That is a means creating trust among the others or believing to others. So these like we have to make them more number of practice with the synonymous word. So here as a language teacher we have to make the student to list out these type of words, whatever the possibilities are there. So make them to practice with more number of synonymous words, so that they are going to become as a word dictionary. So they can take help of dictionary, or they can look into the newspaper or whatever the source they have. From that they will try to get more number of such types of synonymous words, so that the word power will be there with the student. the vocabulary part is going to be increased by having more number of practices. So this is about the synonymous. And coming to the practical word, to make these synonymous words as very familiar with the student or practice, the task 1 we can give like exercise by giving similar matching words. So we have to take into 2 columns A and B. In one way we have to give such type of words, and in the B section also we have to give similar meanings for that, so that they can find out what exactly the meaning is. So for example, here we can give like building and like pretty. The other word we can give like beautiful and cruel. The other meaning for the cruel is like unkind, means which is not good. So like we have to differentiate into A and B by giving A side 10 words and B side also 10 words. They have to club what exactly the meaning is matching with the A and B, so that it is going to give more word power to the students. So like matching words, these type of exercises will create more interest to the students. And by the task 2, prepare a list of synonymous for as many as words, so that it is going to become as a practice. So the student will have lot of interest to get more number of words, so it is going to become as a exercise or practice. So every student we have to keep a target. So minimum we have to focus on 10 words per day, so that they try to get, so whatever the source they have from the textbook or by asking their parents or by asking their brother or sister, definitely they'll try to get it more number of words. So that words we can practice in the classroom, and at the same time the language teacher, whatever the task we had given to the student for next day, that should be done or the corrected by the language teacher. So whatever the homework we had given, that should be corrected by the language teacher. Then only every child will try to complete the homework at home, and it is making some useful with the homework. And coming to antonyms, so these are nothing but opposite words. So the synonyms are nothing but the similar meanings. Coming to antonyms, a word that means the opposite of another word is called as antonyms. So it is nothing but the opposite. For example, cruel. The synonymous word for cruel is unkind, whereas coming to the antonym word, cruel means kind, and young, old. Like these are different types of different examples which we can create in the student as more active participation, and let them practice with more number of words. So here to develop these more antonyms as a practice, we can prepare a list of antonyms taking into new word. That is also a homework to the students. And by prepare a blank filling exercise on antonyms. So the teacher can give homework as a fill in the blanks. What exactly the antonym word is essential in keeping or filling the blank, that should be very clear. So to make this task 2 as very effective, preparing a blank filling exercise on antonyms, the teacher can give more fill in the blanks and giving choices. Means here 2 words they have to give, whether they have to pick one word and they have to interpret in the blank, so that they can differentiate the 2 words, where we can use that word and where we can use all these words. That are task 2. And coming to other part, we can make as antonyms, be a quiz master and conduct a quiz competition focusing on the antonyms. So here the teacher can act as a quiz master, and he can make the students into different groups among the classroom. By making into 2 groups or 3 groups, we have to give a tags, group A, group B and group B, based on the classroom strength. So by this the teacher can ask the questions acting as a quiz master to give more antonymous words, whatever the word they want to write it on the blackboard. So that part is also with the student, and we can make them more active participant in the classroom. And the next word types of word is homonyms. So we had gone with the antonyms, synonyms and the homonyms. So the homonym is a word which is spelt like another word but which has a different meaning. A homonym is a word which is spelt like another word. It is spelling like another word but which has the different meaning. So here for example, bank, B-A-N-K. Usually bank means we know that the bank, what we feel is bank, where we have the transactions of money and all those, that bank. And the other meaning for this is, the other word is bank, like river bank, which is river bank, that is a difference, but the spelling is same. Coming to next word, right, R-I-G-H-T, as I am having right to speak, that is my right. My right is, as per constitution, I have right to speak. I have every right to speak, R-I-G-H-T, okay. Whereas coming to the one more right, whatever the answer had written by the student, the teacher had given right mark for that, it was right. So that is the difference. Based on the situation, we have to gone through the sentence in a proper way, then only we can differentiate what exactly the word is talking about. And next, well, yes, I am fine, well, I am talking about well, how you are doing your academics, well, okay. Whereas coming to the well, it's a source of water. So these all the these type of examples we can give for the homonyms, and make the student to practice such type of more homonyms as a practice. So take a list of homonyms and prepare own sentences. Based on this, we can make the student as different homonym words. Along with this, they are coming to know how to frame the structures by using such type of words. So this is giving, developing the knowledge part, which is talking about the more homonymous words, in the same time sentence formation, how the sentence should be formed. So here it is going to create writing skill. Coming to next one is homophones. Homophones. If two words have the same pronunciation, if the two words have the same pronunciation with different spelling, pronunciation is same but the spelling is different, and meaning called as the homophones. If two words have the same pronunciation with different spellings and meaning, called as homophones. But only the pronunciation is same but the spelling is different, as well as meaning of the word also different. Those type of words are called homophones, homonyms and homophones. So these two were confused to the student, homophones and homonyms. So coming to example for the homophones, die, D-I-E, D-I-E, die means there is no life, die. Okay. Whereas coming to the dye, the pronunciation is same but the spelling is D-Y-E, dyeing the color, dyeing the color, that is different. But almost all the pronunciation is same pronunciation. Coming to the spelling part, so not having death, life is D-I-E. Whereas coming to the D-Y-E, dyeing the cloth, dyeing the hair, giving color, which is nothing but giving the color. The pronunciation is same but the spelling as well as meaning is different. Those type of words are called homophones. And next, weak, W-E-E-K, weak. And the other homophone for this is W-E-A-K. So as we know the difference between these two. Coming to the words like pray, P-R-E-Y, P-R-A-Y. And next we can go for like peace, P-I-E-C-E, P-E-A-C, peace. Okay. So like these are different spellings or the different words which we can go for the homophones. So to make this as more effective in the classroom, we can create such correct words and fill in the blanks with correct word from the option. For example, here we had given a simple example like I will dash a letter now. I will dash a letter now means here this is a simple structure which we are discussing the sentence. I will dash a letter now. So here what is the spelling and what are the two words had given? W-R-I-T-E and R-I-T-E. So here we can go for correct option, that is I will write a letter, not the write. I will write a letter. That is one example. And so here to make the student as more structure with effective one, the student needs to be exposed to the practical as well as the practice towards the vocabulary and structure with many times in order to be able to recall and use them. So here as a language teacher, the intention is we have to make the student or the learner or pupil need to be exposed to practice. Then only the language skill will be strengthened or developed. So here the language teacher has to give more exposure towards the English language, practice, vocabulary and structure. So this practice is making the learners as very effective in language learning, and same time the practice is making the learners to create a confidence among themselves. So such type of opportunity should be provided by the language teacher. So here the student needs to expose to practice vocabulary and structure many times in order to be able to recall and use them. So the practice is possible only giving opportunity to the student, as well as whatever the words they learn in the classroom, that should be utilized in their day-to-day life. So and since morning to evening we have to communicate with each and everything with others. So at that time we have to make them to practice with these vocabulary or structures. So they have to recollect whatever the words they can use in their conversation. That should be in a practice manner it is possible. So here we have to make the learner or the participant to use these type of vocabulary and structure with many times in order to able to recall and use them. So here like a simple structure they had given, whatever the word the teacher has presented, that should make as a practice. So once they have the complete practice or continuous practice, definitely they will learn sentences. So here this is a simple structure which we can make structure as very effective to the learners. Thank you.